Okay, so Wags sent us a photo the other night, and it's of a mangled piece of crossbow. So, okay, so what's the story behind it, Big Shooter? We want to know.
Yeah, that is what happened. So I took a couple shots. I told Tasker I took a couple shots. I'm like, okay, that's pretty good. I'm dialed in at about 35 yards. Then I'm going to move this thing back to 40. And I'm like, okay, boom, boom, boom. Took 2 shots. I'm like, this is pretty good. I don't need much more. You know what? And I cranked it up. I go, you know what? One more time. I'm going to go at 45. Oh, shoot. I forgot to move the target back. So I set the crossbow down. It's kind of like where my fire pit and kind of like where there's like an overhang above like some patio furniture and stuff like that. So it could be an echo chamber of some sort. And I walk to move that target about 5 yards back, and I hear a boom. I'm like, whoa, what happened? I'm like, did the gas line go? Did someone shoot at me? What's happening? What happened was that right limb exploded. The bolt was already in because I had already set it up. And I'm like, oh, yeah, shoot, I can't fire right now because I haven't moved it back. So it was ready to go, and which is a common action because, you know, you obviously don't crank it up when you're in the tree stand or when you're in the thing. You have it cranked and loaded and ready to fire. And I went back over there, and that whole right limb just blew out. So I was like, uh-oh. Took some pictures, found the bolt. Everything was fine. I'm glad it didn't shoot me as I was walking away. So I have learned one lesson. Regardless of the weapon, I mean, this is kind of common sense, but be sure, double check. Be sure and make sure that weapon is not pointed towards you at all or towards anybody. So, fortunately enough, it wasn't. And yeah, it blew up. So Mr. Tasker talked to our good friends over at Buck Rub and Raven and Kaz, and they set me up. I went in there the other day, and perfect. They set me up good. They're going to work on it. Hopefully it's covered. It should be covered under warranty because it is less than 5 years old, but new strings and stuff like that. So they are taking a look at it. Hopefully I hear back from them soon. And in the meantime, with that being taken care of, I just brought in my Matthews, my compound bow, and me and Raven started talking a little bit, and she kind of set it up, and we tightened it up. So Paul Wagner, the one with the broken shoulder, who couldn't shoot a compound bow for the longest time, had to shoot a crossbow, now just got my bow cranked up to 58 pounds.
58, Wags. Yeah, because weren't you like
Muscle
51 or 53 or something like that? Yeah, there you go.
Yep,
Couple turns on the limbs. Wags,
It's still got to be shot straight, though.
It still has to be shot straight. Yes, correct. But as you know, Tim, you just heard the story. He's got his target out. He's shooting. He's practicing, which is great. I love to hear that.
What was the sporting magazine when we were kids? Field and Stream, something that had that little segment that said, I survived.
Oh, gosh.
And when I saw that photo, that's what I flashed back to. Wags having a segment of I Survived with Paul Wagner.
Yeah, fortunately, we don't have that.
I'm glad it worked out for you, buddy. It's all good.
Hey, Wags, you brought up a good point in there, which I think it never hurts to remind everybody that, you know, we're all starting to sight in our guns and, well, I mean, I haven't yet, obviously. We all know that.
Does it really matter?
But as we start to approach that season where people are getting their firearms out, whether that's a bow or whether that's your crossbow or, you know, an actual firearm, you know, it goes back to the fundamentals of hunter safety, of Tab K, and just, you know, knowing the rules of safe firearm handling and always knowing what is, you know, beyond your target, you know, never point your firearm at anybody. You know, some of those fundamentals. And Wags, it's a scary but thankful reminder that you're all right and to never have those things pointed in any direction that you don't want those arrows or bolts to be flying.
No, exactly. And if you think about it and you practice it and you practice it and you practice it, it becomes almost just fundamental, let's just say. And you know what? I'm so thankful that I did it that way. I must have just did it. I didn't think about it. I set it down and I put it the way it should have been, and it was aimed towards the woods. I just did that, and very thankful on that. But those are things that, yeah, you're right. Don't worry about it, but don't think about it, but do it. You know, it's it's one of those things we don't think about it, we don't worry about it, but it could actually come back and bite us in the ass. Sort of like, remember when Tim told us the story, he was cleaning out a gun and it had a round in the chamber.
Yeah. You just never know. And, fortunately for you, everything's all right.
Well, and here's the thing. You can do things 1,000 times, right? And there's never an issue. Mm-hmm. And that's when something crops up.
Right.
Something you've done 1,000 times, and you're like, and take it out of, what we focus on in this show, the hunting side of things. How many times have you been washing dishes, or you've been cleaning something, or, you've gone up that step ladder to reach whatever on the top shelf 100 times. Yeah. And this time you're in a hurry and you didn't put your shoes on. You had your socks on, and you slipped and you fell and you hurt your back.
Yeah.
It happens in a split second. It really does. So being aware of those stuff and looking at it and taking it seriously for what it is.
An actual firearm, it goes back to the fundamentals of hunter safety of Tab K and just, knowing the rules of safe firearm handling and always knowing what is, beyond your target, never point your firearm at anybody. Some of those fundamentals and Wags, it's a scary but thankful reminder that you're all right and to never have those things pointed in any direction that you don't want those arrows or bolts to be flying.
No, exactly. And if you think about it and you practice it and you practice it and you practice it, it becomes almost just fundamental, let's just say. And you know what? I'm so thankful that I did it that way. I must have just did it. I didn't think about it. I set it down and I put it the way it should have been, and it was aimed towards the woods. I just did that, and very thankful on that. But those are things that, yeah, you're right. Don't worry about it, but don't think about it, but do it. It's one of those things we don't think about it, we don't worry about it, but it could actually come back and bite us in the ass. Sort of like, remember when Tim told us the story, he was cleaning out a gun and it had a round in the chamber.
Yeah, you just never know. And, fortunately for you, everything's all right.
Well, and here's the thing. You can do things 1,000 times, right? And there's never an issue. Mm-hmm. And that's when something crops up.
Right.
Something you've done 1,000 times, and you're like, and take it out of, what we focus on in this show, the hunting side of things. How many times have you been washing dishes, or you've been cleaning something, or, you've gone up that step ladder to reach whatever on the top shelf 100 times. Yeah. And this time you're in a hurry and you didn't put your shoes on. You had your socks on, and you slipped and you fell and you hurt your back.
Yeah.
It happens in a split second. It really does. So being aware of those stuff and looking at it and taking it seriously for what it is.
Yeah.
I think that's the most important thing.
And I think a lot of times those things just kind of fall into our subconscious of things that we just automatically do. But it is good just to kind of think about some of that stuff every once in a while. And I think as long as you're, kind of going through some of those checklists in your mind, it's whether it's, you're in the tree and you're thinking about, different things that could happen, different scenarios. It's just, you got to just be very kind of hypersensitive with some of those things, especially when you have a firearm.
All right. So I want to talk to you guys about the weather.
Okay.
It's supposed to be 88 record highs this weekend. What?
Did you buy that the AC unit, the fully
for the redneck
service for the redneck? Because boy, it's got to be about $120 in there.
Just take a cooler with those.
Oh my god!
I bought one of those. I went to Generac. I went down the road to Generac. I bought a generator, and it sits there. It powers both units.
You and Ted Nugent. There you go.
Yeah, you pretty much have to. I mean, so Wags, I think it's safe to say you will not be out there this afternoon.
You're going to take a pass this
evening.
Weekend? That's it, right?
He asked me this week. He goes, "Hey, did you get out there?" I go, "Nope."
Yeah.
He goes, "Oh, nope."
It's I don't know, man. It's weird, and so I think about it all the time because like by now, my anniversary is this weekend, and we had such great weather the year that we got married. We were kind of like checking out the place that we were getting married, like in the weeks kind of in advance to see, okay, are we going to get this beautiful color turn? And, it was at a barn, so they had a bunch of trees and foliage around there. And so we're kind of thinking through like, all right, we would like to know, like, what are we in for pictures? around here, there's like a branch maybe or the random tree that has started turning colors. But I was just looking at my cameras from up north, and I feel like we're starting to get like actual like clearance, like leaves are already falling up there because we've had the leaves turn, a while ago. And we're not seeing that so much down here. But next week, I don't know if you guys have looked at the forecast, but we have a couple mornings in the 30s.
Here we go.
So here we go.
Bring on the sniffle season.
Bring on the
Monday
sniffle
night.
season.
Monday night. Is it going to get cold?
Yeah, I saw 34
Monday night
and 37, I think, for
Yeah.
Tuesday, Wednesday lows.
Monday night's a good sitting night. Monday night's a good sitting night.
Yeah, so...
Hey, I'm going to text you Monday night just to make sure, okay, that you're actually out doing it.
As long as I got my crossbow and my bow and everything back,
Yeah, there you go. And you know what? I mean, you've got Eric out there. He's been hustling for a month getting everything set up for you. So you should be ready to go, right?
Yeah.
I should be. I hope so.
It's so funny. So, I don't know what we were doing over the weekend, but, Wags sends me a message, and he's like, why didn't you tell me the redneck was so filthy? And I'm like, well, I don't know. I guess I didn't really think
You didn't
much of
clean.
it.
Wait a minute.
Well, so...
That's like your hunting bed and breakfast, and you didn't clean up afterwards?
No.
Your
hold
Airbnb?
On. Hold on.
Oh, my.
So,
What
so
kind
I'm
of
like,
guest are you?
I said, well, it's clean enough to shoot deer out of. I know that much
there
for
we
sure.
go, there we go,
So,
there we go.
so then I called him a couple days ago, and I'm like, all right, so what's going on up there? Like, I was thinking about it, and I think maybe it was like when we went to a concert or something, and I call him, and I'm like, I was kind of thinking about it. Like, are you talking about the windows are filthy? Because remember, I had the wasp incident,
Yep.
so, I'm spraying and using the wasp killer, and I tried to wipe the windows down. Tim, I tried to be very conscious about what I'm doing up there. So, it's like an Airbnb that I get the luxury
I can see you
of
with the
using every once in a-
Clorox bleach wipes, right? Spraying it down.
Well, it's better than using the scraper on
I
the
got it,
windows
yeah.
when it's, mid-January. He's like, no, there's like dirt on the ground and there's like flies that are, I was like, oh, why? I don't really know what you normally like kind of keep it as. And he's like, I'm so sorry. I just normally use the shop vac out here and try and clean it up a little bit.
You use a shop?
No,
Not a
no,
shop
no.
vac, but just
Yeah.
like a little handheld just to clean some of that stuff
What kind of
up,
place
so.
do you have out there? You're using shop vacs and
Well, it's got an AC
handle-
unit in it now.
it's got a
so-
generator in it. I mean, yeah. Well, just move in.
Yeah, no. For him, and then my buddy Jake went out there, and then Billy went out there and hunted. It was dirty. Not dirty that they left it dirty. It was dirty from over the winter or through the summer, where like flies are dead on the floor, and there's some dirt and I always clean it out. I clean it out because the girls will go up there with their iPads or something, and they will go there. They used to do homework up there. They used to do things, so I clean it out. No, nothing that any of my hunters who left. It was something that I usually do pre-hunting season, and I just never got out of there because baseball season just prolonged and blah, 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 and I just made excuses.
So let me ask you guys a question, totally off topic. And my wife and I went on a long walk earlier this week, and we saw a bunch of squirrels.
Okay.
And I said to her out loud, I go, Dawn, does anybody hunt squirrels anymore? I mean, because when I was a kid, and even as much as, in less than 10 years ago, I mean, I went out and bought a new 22 so that I can hunt squirrels. Don't laugh at me. What's wrong with it?
No, nothing's wrong. Because Tasker has no clue. Why would anybody hunt squirrels? But that's what we used to do.
I mean, we used to hunt squirrels. Not only that, but Wags, we ate squirrels.
Oh, well, that's
different.
Well, I mean, where we grew up, it wasn't my favorite dish.
Sure.
But it was, if you grew up like I did, you ate a lot of wild game.
Yeah.
Squirrels were one of the things you ate. And I was just, Dawn and I were on a walk, and I just said, does anybody hunt squirrels anymore? Outside of just eradication because they're,
Right.
they're in places where you don't want them to be.
Well, I'll say that when I have a public spot in Washington County that I've gone a number of times, and I don't know that I've ever sat out there and not seen squirrel hunters. So
people are still doing it.
So people are still doing it. Right. And I don't know. It's a little concerning to me because, unless they actually see you up in the tree, because you're full camo, you're not in orange.
Right.
And I get it. It's a smaller caliber bullet and all that stuff. But, yeah, I mean, they're shooting up. So,
Yeah.
I don't know. It, always gives me, a little kind of sense of,
what is it, Wags?
pause, but
22, 410. That's about it for shooting squirrels, right?
Get a 22. We'd get our 22s.
That's what we would do,
go
too.
buy our 22.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
Yeah, so I guess, firsthand experience, I've not done it, but
Yeah. I'm just curious. Wags, do you out there at Casa de Wagner, do you squirrel hunt once in a while or not?
No. And I don't like squirrels. I've told you this before. I hate squirrels, and I hate squirrels. I don't like them. I don't like them when they look at me in the branches, and I have to get them away.
So then it begs the question, okay? Hey, you know what? If I buy a small game license, can I come out and help you with your problem?
100%. I will even buy you a box of that 500. I'll buy you your ammo.
All right, hey, buddy, you're on.
Oh, that's good. I learned something about Wagner today that I just didn't know he had such a strong
squirrels?
hatred for squirrels.
Well, you know what? You know what? It's opportunity meets what's the
right.
saying? Yeah, here it is. So I'm going to be. You know what? There's a reason for me to come out and do Casa de Wagner now.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he still needs 2 more does taken.
You know what? I'm going to go squirrel hunting soon.
Yeah.
You going to tag along?
Yeah, we're all gonna get out there.
Teaming?
Way's gonna take his aggression out. And,
all right, I'm looking forward.
Yeah,
to
we're gonna have some fun. It's kind of like me and bird hunting. I'm not a fan of birds, but here we are. We're
You had
doing
fun
it.
that day, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. You got some news? You got some headlines?
I got a couple things.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Let's do this. Time now to wake up and smell the headlines. From the news desk, here's Eric Tasker.
So this week, from USA Archery,
Okay.
one of our recurring themes that we've had on this show that we've talked about, many times is, hunter numbers are declining.
Mm-hmm.
How do we engage younger individuals into getting excited about the sport of hunting, whether that's bow, gun, deer, duck, whatever it may be. I stumbled on an article from USA Archery this week that almost 500 archers from 30 schools are competing in Alabama this past week.
Mm-hmm.
And that the new schools that are all a part of this, so every, so often more and more schools are adding an archery program or an archery team, like a bass fishing team or, whatnot. They're adding these, and they helped break, adding the new schools has helped break the record for participation at the 2025 USA Archery Collegiate 3D Nationals.
Wow.
So I understand it's a very small sample size, but, hey, if your kid is into hunting and maybe they're a very good archer, why not get your school paid for and go to, college on a scholarship and be able to shoot for your school and be able to do something that you absolutely love. It's something very different from what a lot of people are doing to be able to pay for their education. And it's exciting to be able to see this because, as I've said, we keep looking for these recurring themes of what is actually happening. Are numbers actually dwindling? Is it just, fair weather? Is it the younger demographic that's not, getting excited about it? I think this is really cool. And it's just a different way for our youth, our 18 to 22-year-olds, 17 to 21-year-olds, to be engaged with something that they absolutely love and to be able to go to school and maybe even get their school paid for with this. I don't know. It's just, I don't know if you guys have any thoughts on that, but Wagner?
No,
would you go to school on a scholarship for archery?
You know what? I only started thinking because of the archery part, but I do know that, and I do have some friends that their children, matter of fact, they are females, so this is definitely a male-female sport. They've gotten a trap scholarship to shoot trap in college. I also have two buddies, and I have one buddy whose son goes to Tarleton, it's called Tarleton State, down in Texas, and he got a full scholarship for bass fishing. And I know this has nothing to do with archery, but I'm saying that there are opportunities at the collegiate level with trap, with archery, with skeet shooting, with bass fishing. There's so many different things that are competitive where, he got help. He got a scholarship, and his dad played baseball, and his son, I go, yeah, did he get a, baseball scholarship? No, he's going down there to fish. I go, what? He goes, yeah, he got a full ride to go bass fishing. I'm like, wow.
You know what? What really became apparent to me about this stuff and how it's changed is that I ran into my kids bowled a little bit in high school.
Okay.
And they were, one night at league, they were handing out applications for scholarships. And I kind of looked at that. I'm like, for bowling?
Yeah.
And then I kind of dug into it. I'm like, holy crap. I mean, this is serious stuff. And to your point, Wags, with bass fishing, don't mock it. I mean, there are kids that get full rides for video gaming scholarships now, right? It is crazy.
Yeah. Wags, what school did you go to?
I went to Illinois State.
Illinois State. Okay, so
down in Bloomington Normal.
I'm just looking at a list of these here. So some notable larger universities that have this: Eastern Kentucky University. The reason I asked Wags, Southeastern Illinois College. I think that's probably a smaller school. Texas A&M, Georgia Southern. I think Liberty University is a pretty good sized school. Michigan State University, probably the biggest out of all of them, along with the Texas A&M.
Wow.
They've got a list of probably, I'd say, 40 universities here and colleges that are participating in this that had people actually there. So it's pretty cool to see. I mean, I don't know. And as you guys were kind of saying this, I kept thinking to myself, the more obscure the sport or the hobby or interest that you have, the smaller the pool to compete against for scholarships too.
If you realize that they can't hit a curveball, put a bow in their hand. If you realize they're never going to do a 4-2-40, put a bowling ball in their hand.
Oh, that's good. If you guys, I think we've talked about Amazon and ordering some stuff from Amazon.
I just did.
So
I just did.
Next week is.
I think it's magic. By the way,
is it? I don't really understand.
Listen, Wax. I ordered 2 T-shirts. Okay. I ordered 2 T-shirts for a family event coming up this weekend. Yeah. I ordered them on Tuesday. They were on my doorstep Wednesday night. There's got to be black magic involved in this.
I don't understand.
There's some type of voodoo UFO something, because how does that happen? How does that happen?
Who is the guy, Jeff Bezos? Is he the one who owns Amazon?
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't know. You are right. Amazon, there is something there, because when I open it up and I go there, like I know what you're talking about. You're talking about the Black Fridays or the October 7th.
Yes.
But it's like I can open it up and go, I like this. It delivered tomorrow between 10 and 3. I'm like, what?
Well, and it gets even weirder when you look in the morning and you're like, oh, yeah, I forgot to order this. And, you just, kind of are looking in the morning and you're like, oh, I can get it today between 5 and 10 p.m. Well, that's easier than going to the grocery store.
I mean, I went online. I was here. I went online, and because we're going out of town. And so I'm like, there's no way. I'm like, yeah, it'll be there tomorrow. I'm like, bing, hit the button.
Yeah.
It's crazy. So anyway,
I just had found an article, so especially now that we're getting into the weekend, I think we'll start seeing a lot more of this stuff. But like Outdoor Life has a nice article about 11 early Prime Day deals on trail cameras and accessories. Mm-hmm. So you'll start to see some of that stuff, some trail cameras that are like 44% off, or like discounted, like 3-packs, and just different things that, you might be able to take advantage of if you happen to be behind schedule, or maybe you have a camera that, you can't find like I did a couple years ago. You lost it in the woods somewhere, and you'll maybe eventually stumble upon it.
Yeah. It's like a pair of sunglasses you find between the seats.
Yeah, and then they're all scratched up, and you can't do anything with them. But there's actually quite a few different things, which is kind of cool. I was actually looking at this, and I saw they have a stake, trail camera stake that you just pound in the ground. You can put it like out in the field, kind of like you got Wags. And my initial thought was, I hope this is a swamp pole, because I need a swamp pole for duck hunting. But it was not. So that's actually what drew me to the article. But
so what is the one thing that you certainly don't need, but you want? Paul Wagner, we'll start with you. What is the one thing that you don't need, but you really want it?
I probably don't need anything because you get so, but I just try to look and look. I need a bow, I need an arrow, I need a gun, and I need a bullet. That's all I really need. But then I start looking.
He's a simple man, folks.
Special hand warmers. It's got USB and hand warmer. This one's got this hand warmer I got. So I bought it on Amazon, like you just said. Did I need it? No. It's got a lighter on it. It's got one of those.
It's one of those Zippo ones. Torches. Yeah.
You're like that flame torch. I'm like, what do you think I'm doing? I'm not going up to Colorado. I'm in my backyard.
Yeah, you're going to be one of those mountain men.
How about you?
I would say I have this weird thing about arrows that even if I have like 6 or 8 of them, I feel like it's never enough. It's like I always look for a deal on arrows.
Okay.
But I have like a very particular kind that I like to shoot. And, if I had 18 arrows, I feel like I'd probably be all right. Just like shooting and just whatever.
Yeah.
I feel like I could never have enough. If you gave me 100 arrows, I'd be happy, and I'd be like, I could probably use another maybe half dozen.
Honey, they're on sale.
Yeah,
honey, they're on sale. So here's mine.
What about you, Tim?
Here's mine. You guys are going to laugh, okay? And again, I don't need it. It's too damn expensive. But you know what I really would like to have? I really miss my pontoon.
Ooh.
I really missed my pontoon. I've had boats. Wags, you've had boats. We've talked about that. You've sold boats. Yep. I've sold boats. I miss my pontoon.
Yeah.
I just do. Yeah. Do I need it at this stage of my life? Nope. Do I have a place to put it if I was to stumble into some money? Nope. But man, and someone could say, well, you can rent them now.
Yeah.
And you can use them.
Lac La Belle, you can
rent them.
$25 for an hour?
Just to have it. You know what? You're right. Just to have it. It's sort of like unfortunately, when COVID came and the restaurants were closed. Do I go down to Moe's or Carnivore in Milwaukee, or do I go up to Ruth Chris's up in Madison, outside of Madison? I didn't go that often, but when you couldn't do it,
you wanted to.
I wanted it. So can I really use a boat right now? No, because of baseball. But do I want a boat? Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I do.
I do. I miss it. And I know what BOAT stands for.
Yeah.
And I did bust out, not 1,000, but I busted out some money. We all have those boat stories that we hate to tell. But damn, it was fun.
Yeah.
When you're on that lake and you get that breeze blowing and the water's like glass, you got a little beverages with you along the ride.
Maybe 1 or 2.
I mean,
it's going to be 88 degrees today, so it makes you even feel like it.
There's the sandbar. Let's stop at the sandbar.
Exactly.
Oh, there's a tie-up this weekend.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
What else you got? That it?
All right, so...
Got one more?
Wags, I got another one here.
Okay.
Wags, you expressed your sincere dislike for squirrels.
Yes.
How do you feel about snakes and/or pythons?
I'm okay with snakes. They scare me or startle me.
Are you talking about the NFL guy?
No.
No? Did you wrote okay, go ahead.
I didn't hear about that.
Did you see what I had? I think it was I remember. It was in college. I had I believe it was a ball python. Now, someone's going to correct us and say, ball pythons are venomous. I think it was a ball python that wasn't venomous. I had him. This is a true story now. I don't know why we went on this one. I had him. And I had him in a little fish tank, and I had my heating rock. Well, the heating rock turned off. It broke or something. And if you know how snakes in like aquariums, they need that heat rock.
Yep.
So he's gone. And I'm like, no way. Where did he go? He's gone.
Dude.
So I'm sitting on the floor in college, actually studying, leaning up against my bed on the floor, sitting with my back against my bed, and I'm studying. Maybe that 1 or 2 times I did. And all of a sudden, after about 2 or 3 days later, this snake comes crawling out of my closet right towards me, and it scared the living daylights out of me. No harm, no foul. Picked him up. He was gone for 48 hours. He was probably snuggled in a sweater or a sweatshirt, and I put him right back in the cage, and then we bought a new rock for him.
Wow.
Okay, well, I survived. That's two with Paul Wagner now.
Well, he's got a lot of these today. So, do you think you could make a living hunting pythons, is the article. And so they interviewed, this is another one from Outdoor Life, they interviewed some of Florida's invasive snake contractors. Of course, this is a Florida man story. So in the month of July, this couple, Christina Kraus and Aaron Mann, captured 87 invasive pythons from the Everglades, setting that month's record and netting them thousands of dollars in payouts for helping remove the invasive reptiles. So typically, the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation pays python hunting contractors $50 per snake up to 4 feet long, and then $25 per foot after that. So you look at a 9-foot snake. An 8-foot snake would be $150. Here we go. So for example, catching a 10-foot python under the program will net a contractor $200 for that snake. If you find a verified active nest, you get another $200 bonus. And even if you don't find the pythons, you still earn hourly wages between $18 and $30 per hour just for being out there hunting. I don't know. It's just something about that. So add all that up, and Mann and Kraus say that they're not far from paying their bills as professional python hunters. In addition to their hourly wages for July, they estimate they worked upwards of 180 hours that month. Their 87 snake total included a nest with 33 hatchlings, each about 2 feet long, a whopping 14-foot python worth $300 that weighed 92 pounds. Just everything about that sounds terrible. If you catch, if you catch more pythons than anybody else, you get an extra $1,000 kicker.
Bonus bucks.
That is something I absolutely will never do.
All right, so I want you guys to grab your phones right now.
Okay.
I just texted you both a picture. Okay, you see it?
Okay.
Wags, you see it?
Alligator? Yeah, alligator.
That is my brother-in-law, Alan.
Oh, my God.
Florida man.
Florida man.
That baby is, I'm looking here, 10 feet, 7 inches.
Oh.
He got 2 gators this week. First one, quote from Alan, little small Tim at 8'4". Second was 10 feet, 7 inches.
Woo. Holy night.
That Florida man's got stones, let me tell you.
Wow.
Look at that thing. You guys didn't believe me. He's going to be on the show.
That is awesome.
10 feet, 7 inches alligator right there.
So is that
there's the proof.
Do they do shotgun or do they do bang sticks or?
I can't
wait to ask him about that.
We're going to have to ask him that.
Intriguing.
But I think he's nuts. And he's done, this is the second time he's done it. First time he went out, he did not get one, but his son did. And I think it's a year or 2 years apart since he's done it. And he was so jacked, and they had bad weather, so he couldn't do it 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
And so he texted me and said, I'm going back out, watching Facebook, and he posted those pictures.
That is awesome.
That is awesome.
So what's he going to do? What do they do with it then?
That's another question.
Purse, make a purse.
Yeah,
there you go.
Some
shoes.
I mean, 11-foot gator, that's a hefty number of boots that you can get made out of that.
So here's the thing. I'm actually seeing him this weekend.
Okay.
And so I'll report back next week.
Okay.
And then Wags, I'm going to try to get him on the show.
Probably next week to you guys.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if Wags was, going to be here or not.
Can I
Otherwise,
reciprocate with some squirrel later on or not?
Yeah, well, I'll be
pass
there
on
with
that?
you. So,
No! Nobody wants to eat squirrel. No.
We'll bring back a dozen or so, and Wags will have a shovel, and he'll say, bury him over there, please.
Yeah. Funny you say that about squirrel. The October meat deal, 6 squirrels. How about that?
That's nuts.
So the October meat deal, we've got a new one: 2 butter garlic chicken breasts, 2 homemade beer and onion brats, a whole or cut up chicken if you want to go gator fishing, and a pound of ground chuck, and 2 chicken patties as always. But honestly, super nice process just getting my deer done there. I'm so glad that it all worked out, that I was able to actually get in there. Deer number 4, they're up to 20 deer so far.
Wow. And
the day that I picked up my deer, a stud buck from Delafield was brought in. So it's happening. It's happening. And it was about a week and a half turnaround. It's super great. The one thing that I did want to mention, Bunzel's even does a cash discount if you do, if you pay for your venison processing in cash, 10%. How about that?
That's a fantastic deal.
So that's a nice way, just an extra way, just to save a couple bucks, especially when you start getting into some of those bigger deer. I mean, $400 worth of processing is not cheap, so save yourself $40 that way, and that way it works out 2 monthly meat deals you could buy with that money you save.
So I'm kind of thinking here that as long as there's postseason play for baseball,
okay,
we have to drop in a baseball question for Wags. We just have to, right?
Yeah.
Wags, here's my question today. After watching all the first round of the playoffs, and again, I know this has been prevalent throughout baseball, but man, does anybody throw under 100 anymore with success? My God, it looks like you can't be a big league pitcher unless you throw triple digits these days.
Well, I'll tell you what, we had talked about this before. I believe his name is Mason Miller. I believe it's Mason Miller.
It is Mason Miller. 104, buddy. 104 this week.
Traded from the Oakland A's. Now, here's a good thing. Here's something for us baseball players throughout the state of Wisconsin, late bloomers. I don't know exactly where Mason went to school. I know he went to a smaller college. He didn't do LSU. He didn't do Mississippi State, Texas A&M, anything like that. He went to a smaller school. He developed later. But I'm going to tell you what. You can say Aroldis Chapman. You could say all these guys. You could say Miz. You can have Miz from the Brewers. Nobody throws as hard as this kid, and it is amazing what we were talking. How do you hit it? And I mentioned that little excerpt. I remember, though I don't like the man, Barry Bonds once said, "I don't care how hard the man throws, because there's a catcher behind me that's catching it, and my job is to try to catch it with the bat." 104, no chance. I don't even think you can see the ball.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, how does an umpire judge it a ball or a strike? You can't. It's a guess, right?
Yeah, wow.
So here's where you get it. So that umpire sees the 104. The one that I saw him punch out, he punched out Kelly, I think last week. He punched out the kid from the Cubs. 104 and down and away. No chance. The ones that the umpires can catch, they can make that call. But could you imagine if Miller tosses that slider in? Now the umpire gives up or he's screwed. That's umpire calling a fastball is a little bit easier, but when a guy throws that hard and he throws an off-speed pitch, now you just spun that umpire around.
Good stuff. All right, we've got to run.
Yep.
It's going to be a busy day. Got Brewers later today. Got the Badgers in Michigan today. Bunzel's is there. They help you out if you want to do some backyard tailgating this weekend, or you're going to gear up for next week when the Packers take on the Bengals up in Lambeau. They're there to help you out. The website again is
Bunzels, BUNZELS.com.